Hey y'all, just kind of a weird little short video, just something kind of relatable to something I encountered recently last week, and I was helping a buddy do a steering kit on a truck, and he had it's all DOM tubing. He had it all formed, bent, rod ends, all that good stuff. The company did a nice job. It's all well made, it's well thought out, except for one thing. And I almost didn't install it, but they swear by it, and I know it's not right. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is this last weekend, helped install a steering kit that a buddy of mine had made for his pickup, 4-wheel drive. DOM tubing, bent, it's all 1-ton steering type stuff. Heim joints for all of the ends. Both ends of the tie rod, both ends of the drag link, including the pitman arm. The kit didn't come with a different pitman arm. What it did come with is everything perfect. Had the misalignment shims and spacers, all that good stuff, the sleeves for inside of the heim joints, all the usual stuff. However, as many of you know, pretty much all factory pitman arms, steering arms, this hole is tapered. That means it's larger on one side than it is on the other. It's conical, it's shaped like a cone. This one happens to be about a 1/2 inch on the small end, a little bit of slack. But when it comes all the way through, you can see just how sloppy that is, because on this side, the large side, it's more than 9/16, in this case almost 5/8 of an inch. So on this kit, again, everything came perfect, but I was scratching my head because their instructions make no mention of drilling this out to make it a straight hole, not a conical hole, which you're not supposed to run a bolt just into a conical hole like that, because laterally there's no support. You can tighten this up, sandwich that heim joint and all the spacers all you want. The only way you'll keep from moving, and ultimately it will eventually move, is to over torque the bolt. You're stretching the bolt, and at that point, once you've got all your bits and pieces in here sandwiched up tight and you've torqued this bolt down, it's going to be fine for a day, a week, a few months, a year even, depending on how big and how you drive and tire size and all kinds of things. But eventually it's not going to stay tight. It's going to try and move like this. Every time you turn left and right, you're putting a lateral load on that bolt. And it's bad enough that this, when it's tightened up, is 90 degrees and sharp. That's a shear point to begin with. Large enough bolt, it's not really a factor, but you have to have lateral support. So every kit I've done, and I've done dozens and dozens and dozens, I've had some made, I've made some, you always either drill that hole out to the bolt size, just a couple of thousandths clearance for the bolt, then it sandwiches up tight and stays laterally supported so it can't, wander back and forth. Or you drill it oversized and a sleeve goes in place, sometimes welded. Or the kit manufacturer often sends, which is what I've seen maybe most often, an adapter sleeve that goes in here. It's tapered on the outside to fit perfectly in that factory taper with a straight through hole on center, and then you can run a bolt through that sleeve. And again, then that bolt has all the lateral support it's supposed to have. It can't do this. So I've never encountered a kit, and seems to be a pretty big company, and all of their stuff is very nicely made. But this, I'm just of the opinion they dropped the ball on it. Everything else seems very well engineered, but that is a no-no. I've never ever seen a company put out a kit like that. Not IROC, any of them, nobody. But this company did, and I don't know how many kit models they're putting out like that. It just seems like a tremendous liability to me, because you're playing with people's lives. If that bolt You know, again, once it's in there, and say you get everything sandwiched up, and you've got your spacer on there with a nice big flare on the bottom to keep it flat, sure, it's going to stay square for a while, but that lateral load is going to work it loose. We did it on Saturday. Last night, he started having noises. This morning, I found out that bolt was coming loose. And the reason the bolt's coming loose is because you're stretching the bolt, trying to torque it and rely on the stretch of that bolt instead of the lateral support that you're supposed to. The only thing the nut on this bolt is supposed to do is only have to be tight enough to keep the heim from doing this, to keep the joint from trying to come loose on and off the bolt. You're not supposed to rely on the stretch, the torque of this bolt to support anything laterally. The only thing that nut does is keep the heim joint from coming off. That's it. All of the steering load is left and right on that bolt. So for anybody watching, man, if you get a kit or have something made, make sure this is addressed correctly. That's the other thing, is their instructions with that kit didn't even mention it. It didn't mention this end at all. They were poorly written instructions. They didn't mention this at all. They say to drill out the knuckles for the tie rod ends, for the heims on the tie rod ends. It never mentioned how to address this at all. Just drop the bolt through and carry on, which is absolutely incorrect. It's not safe. It's not the way a bolt, I mean, you can look this stuff up online, you can Google it. That doesn't have any lateral support. So I just had to say something about it and put it out there. I might even call this company. I won't say who it is. They make good stuff. That's a no-no. That is a tremendous industry standard no-no. Anyway, have a good one, y'all. So anyway, guys, I just felt like saying something about it. Like I mentioned, I might just call them myself. It's not my truck. I don't have any dog in this fight other than I know it's not right. It's absolutely incorrect. It's not the proper way to do it. It's certainly not the safest way to do it. It's like something I would do at 15, not knowing any better, on my 82 Toyota pickup. It's just not safe. So if any of you all get a kit like that, have one made, or just make sure that pitman arm, that small end, is addressed correctly. It gets drilled to bolt size, oversized bolts, or it gets drilled out for a sleeve so the bolt fits more precisely and has support. You're getting all that surface area throughout the hole. That's the whole point. Or again, they make the adapter sleeves that drop in its place to fill that taper, and then the bolt goes through a straight hole. And when it's torqued up, it stretches that sleeve out to sandwich out against the inside of the pitman arm. So anyway, I guess I've said my piece. Have a good one, y'all. Later.